and welcome back to my channel. Today is Friday, November 1st, and I am checking in with you guys to do my paycheck to paycheck budget for the first week of November, as well as to stuff my cash envelopes and my sinking funds. So let's just jump right into this. I have everything laid out already with my categories that I take out for, which is debt, bills, expenses, sinking funds. Then I will list my income that I have had for the week, and then we'll come out here and close this out with what our total income was, total bills were, and then what is going to go towards debt snowball. And then once we do that, we will go ahead and stuff the envelopes with the cash that I have. So let's go ahead and get started here. So this is the first week of November, so the first paycheck of November, and I've said this in a few videos, but November is a magic month because if you get paid on Fridays and you get paid on a weekly basis, there are 5 Fridays I totally just spelled capital wrong. There are 5 Fridays in the month of November, so 5 paydays. So that is super exciting. For weekly paycheck period people like myself. So capital one, and with that, like all of the debt and bills portion of my expenses on a monthly basis, so they will all remain the same. The monthly payment is going to be the same for them, but I have 5 paychecks to be able to pay them in rather than just 4. So you get a whole extra week of pay in there, but you're still making the same payments on a monthly basis. But then for me, things like expenses and sinking funds, those I will take out 5 different times every week, but it's the debt and bills that you kind of get a little bit of a break on. Alright, so capital one, my weekly payment that I take out every week is $36.25. Now, all of these expenses that I'm writing down here are taken out on a weekly basis. So capital one gets taken out every week, and then at the end of the month, it's $145 that I have to pay towards that debt. If you want to know how to do this, I do have a few videos that I will post in the description box down below that you guys can check that out. And let's see, the next one is going to be one main. One main on a weekly basis is $76.25. Next we have Apple. Apple is $6.75. And then last is my car payment, which comes out at $153 every week. So we will go ahead and total up these 4 different debt accounts. So we have $36.25 plus $76.25 plus $6.75 plus $153, so $272.25 is what will be taken out of my income this week for debt. Then we're going to jump into bills. So the first bill that I have is Hulu, which we use for TV. It's the only TV company, program, software, whatever you want to say. It is the only one that we have. So Hulu on a monthly basis, or a weekly basis, I was going to write down the monthly amount, is $12.25. I have a whiteout correction tape with me at all times because I constantly, when you're talking and writing, you're really not focused all that much, and then you end up writing something that you did not mean to write. So I have that with me every time I sit down to do anything budget related. Next is Verizon for our cell phones, mine and my son's, which today is my oldest son's 13th birthday. I have a teenager in my household, and I cannot even believe it. I have 2 other kids, a 10-year-old daughter and an 8-year-old son, but the one who made me a mom for the first time, when I had absolutely no idea what I was doing, is 13. So that is pretty crazy. So Verizon for us is $25.50 a week. Next I have insurance, which is my car insurance. My health insurance and life insurance and 401k is all taken directly out of my check at work, so it's pre-taxed. So it's taken out before I even see my check. So that is nice, so I don't have to pay health insurance or anything like that separate. It just comes out of my check every week. My kids' school account is $20. And then my daughter's tumbling is $31.25. So we will go ahead and total these up here. Get my calculator back out. Okay, so we have $12.25 plus $25.50 plus 20 plus 20 plus $31.25 is $109. So $109 out of my income this week will go towards bills, or what I call bills. Everything to me is bills, but that's how I categorize it out. Next we're going to do expenses. So my first expense is rent. And technically, if I didn't have this here, I would list it in the bill category, but these all go into a Capital One 360 account and it comes directly out of there. Rent, I actually take out in cash and put it in a cash envelope, which is why I list it under the expense category. So rent is $50 a week, $200 a month. I get asked this every time, so I'm just going to say it ahead of time. I live in a house that my family owns. I'm very fortunate to be able to do that. So that is why the rent is not very expensive, because my family owns it and they, are cutting me a break. So that is extremely nice. I'm very fortunate to have that, so that's why it is only $200 a month. Okay, I had a tickle in my throat. Next is gas. I take out $40 a week in cash for gas. Gas right now is like $2.44 a gallon. I live in Iowa in the Midwest, so it is not very expensive, when you think of like California, who I think is like at $4 or $5 a gallon, or probably even on the East Coast. So we're at $2.44 a gallon. Groceries, I take out $80 a week in cash for groceries, and then I also meal plan, and then write out my grocery list when I meal plan every Sunday, and I do upload those videos so you guys can kind of see how I am staying in my grocery budget. But that is how I'm able to stay in that $80 range a week, is because I meal plan and then plan out my groceries. It makes it way easier to stay within your budget when you meal plan, opposed to when you go to the grocery store and you don't have a list, you don't know what you're going to make, and you kind of just throw things in your cart as you see them, and then you end up overspending. The last category in expenses is my spending, and this I use for anything. Sometimes I use it to go out to eat for lunch during the day when I'm at work, if I don't take something, or if I want to buy something personal for myself. I could use it for anything. Spending, I do $40 a week. So we will go ahead and get these expenses totaled up. So we have 50 plus 40 plus 80 plus 40. So $210 will be taken out in cash to fill my envelopes. Next is, to me, the funnest category out of all of these, except income. Income is fun. But I just really, really love sinking funds. I love watching them grow, and I absolutely hate taking money out of them because I just like to watch them increase, and it's amazing how much they can really add up. Even if you're only putting in $5 every pay period, it really adds up. So when I have to use money out of my sinking funds, it is actually really depressing to me, but that is what they are there for. They are there as a kind of an individual budget account for a specific category or reason, and that's exactly what they're there for, is to use, so you don't have to cut into, doing something unbudgeted. But I just think it's depressing to use them, because then you have to take that money out, and then what's left in your sinking fund decreases. So, but I just love anything to do with sinking funds. So car maintenance gets $10 a week. The next one is kids. And with my kids' sinking fund, I use that for anything relating to them. Obviously, there are things that I have to purchase that I don't take out of sinking funds for kids. But like if they want to do an activity, like my youngest son wanted to do a basketball camp that was $40, so I did that. My daughter wanted to do a babysitting clinic that our local extension office is putting on in a few weeks, and that was $15, so I did that. So just little things like that come out of this envelope or sinking fund. So kids every week get $20. The next one is Christmas. This is the second week, I think the second week of me, well, let's just see here. Yeah, second week, I started here. Second week of me putting $100 into my Christmas sinking fund every week, and I'm going to do this up until I think the second week of December. I think that's what I decided. Just to kind of give me an extra boost in my Christmas sinking fund before Black Friday. So I was doing $20 a week, and I have been for quite some time, but I just wanted to give a little more push, a little faster, to build it up by Black Friday, because that's when, the sales start coming out. So I'm doing $100 a week right now for my Christmas sinking fund. Next is medical. And medical is getting $5 a week. And then I have household. And household gets $15 a week. Next is gifts, and this one gets $10 a week. And then the last one is personal care, and this one I use mainly for haircuts for my two boys and to get my eyebrows waxed. Personal gets $15 a week. And I actually just had to use personal care on Wednesday to get their haircuts. So we have 10 plus 20 plus 100 plus 5 plus 15 plus 10 plus 15. Oops. I think I put a 1 there instead of 15. It's 15 plus 10 plus 15. So $175 for sinking funds this week. Alright, so now we will go ahead and move on to income. Alright, so for income, my first source was my full-time job, and that one got $537. The next one was my part-time job, and this one got $458. Now those are the only two income sources that I base my budget on. I also have my online income, which would include YouTube, Etsy, and then whatever I get from ShareASale. So I do not, though, use those income sources to budget to pay these on a weekly basis, and that is just because YouTube, Etsy, and Carousel are variable income, so I do not know ever what I'm going to get with those. I might make $5 in Etsy this week, and last week I made $1,000, so it's totally variable. So I don't want to depend on that money, and then all of a sudden the next week I didn't sell as many orders or sell as many stickers or envelopes, and then I based my budget off of that, and now I don't have enough money to pay or enough income to pay for my bills. So that's why I base my bills and budgeting and everything on my full-time job and my part-time job, and then the YouTube and Etsy and Carousel income, whatever I have left after business expenses, I put towards an extra debt snowball payment or it goes to savings. So that's what I do there. And you guys will see at the end of the month how much I made from Etsy and YouTube, and then also how much I put towards debt snowball. So we're going to total up these two incomes, and we have $995. My stomach just growled so loud, so if you heard that, I'm sorry. Okay, so for income, we have $995. And then our bills total, so we're going to take all of our categories and total them up. So we have debt, bills, expenses, and sinking funds. So we have $272.25 plus $109 plus $272.25 plus $109 plus $210 plus $175 is $766.50. So $766.50. So then we're just going to subtract those from each other. So we have $228.50. So that is exactly what I am going to put toward my extra debt snowball payment for the month of November. So I will come back every week and do this, and all of this will sit in my checking account. And then at the end of the month, I will take every week's worth of extra income and just make one big lump sum payment to whatever debt I am currently working on, or I might even put it towards two if I'm able to pay one off, and then put the extra money towards another one, which is actually what I did for the month of October, which that video should be going up within the next week. So be sure to be on the lookout for that one, because that is a really exciting video. So now that I have this done, I'm going to get out my cash envelopes and get my cash set out. And like I said, I only take cash out for these 4 categories here, and then these 7 sinking funds here. So I'm going to get my cash ready, get my envelopes ready, and we will start stuffing the envelopes. Alright, I have everything set up here. So I have all my cash, I have my 3 envelopes that go with me in my billfold, so that is groceries, gas, and spending. And then I have all of my sinking fund envelopes in this binder. So this is I got it from Michael's. It is a Recollections Collections Planner binder. I don't remember what the exact color was of this, but it's like a metallic purple color. It's really cute. And I got this for like $14.99 at Michael's. I ordered it online. You open it up, it did come with some inserts, so you have 3 different dividers and then some notepad pages and checklists and whatnot. And then it's got the 6-ring binder. And then these cash envelopes are from my Etsy shop, which I will post a link in the description below. And I'm actually coming out with some new patterns, hopefully this weekend or maybe next week, that have a lot of gold foil in them. So look out for that. But you can get them either hole punched, like I have these ones here, so these are all hole punched, or you can get them non-hole punched, which, like I said, I do both because I have these that go in my wallet with me, and then these ones stay in my binder. You can also get them personalized with categories. So I have these ones here that are personalized, and then all of these are personalized, or you can get them blank where there is no personalization on them, but it still has the label. So you can take a wet erase marker. I just use the Erin Condren wet erase markers. Right on your category, and then you can take a wet wipe it off when you want to change categories, and then you can use it as a different one. And then the other option that I have is you can get them with trackers on the back, which you also use a wet erase marker for, so you can track the date, the amount you're putting in or taking out, and what the total balance is left over. I don't put trackers on the back of my expense envelopes just because I use these so often, but I do have trackers on the back of all of my sinking fund cash envelopes. So, like I said, you can find these in my Etsy shop. I'll post a link in the description below, but I'm going to go ahead and get started here. So the first thing that we are going to stuff is my expenses. So I will go ahead and start with spending. Now, spending actually has $3 left over from last week, or this week, I guess I should say. What I do with these is the money that I have left over in my spending, groceries, and gas envelopes, I put to the side, and I put them into a debt snowball envelope, which I will show you guys here in a little bit. So this money I'm just going to set to the side for now. So spending gets $40. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take out $40 here, and we will get that put in our spending envelope. So that one is fully funded. Next I'm going to do gas. So gas has some left over as well. It has $2. So I'm going to set that $2 aside where I put the other $3. And gas also gets $40. So we'll go ahead and put that $40 into the gas envelope, and that one is ready to go. And then my last my last one that goes in the billfold is groceries. I have nothing left in groceries, and groceries gets $50. So I'm going to do $50, $60, $70, and $80. Get my money organized here. So we have $80 that'll go into groceries. And then when I do purchase something relating with groceries, gas, or spending, I just put the receipt inside the envelope and then budget that when I'm doing my weekly check-in every Friday. So those three are done. They will go back into my billfold. The next one that I'm going to do, which I also considered in the expense category, is rent. So these are all in alphabetical order. So I have car maintenance, Christmas, gifts, household, kids, medical, personal, rent, savings, and then debt snowball. I know debt snowball is not in alphabetical order, but I put it at the end because I use that one at the end. So I'm going to go with rent. Now, I did just pay my rent bill this morning actually. So I took that $200 out of there. So this one is currently at $0. So you see there's nothing in that one. So we're going to put $50 in for rent. So I'm going to go ahead and slide that in there. And then with the tracker, let me zoom back out here. I'm just going to go ahead and write in that transaction. So today is the 1st. I am putting in $50. So my total balance for this envelope is $50. That way, if I wanted to know what was in any of my sinking funds at any given time, I can just quick look at the back of it rather than having to take it out and count them all. Alright, so now we're just going to basically start at the beginning. So we're going to do car maintenance. Last week, car maintenance had $80. So every week I do take these out just to count to make sure that what I have here is what I have here. So we have 50, 60, 70, 80, and car maintenance gets $10 a week. So we're going to add in another $10. So car maintenance will now be at $90 as of this week. So we'll put that in there, and again I'm just going to write the date 11/1. I am putting in $10, so car maintenance is now at $90. Alright, so next we're at Christmas. Christmas has the most money in it right now. We have $460 as of last Friday. So let's take this out, count, make sure it's all still there. So we have 100, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 83, 20, 40, 60, 84, 420, 440, 460, and I'm going to add in another $100, so Christmas will now be at $560. It is amazing how quickly it adds up when you are putting in $100 a week opposed to just 20. So same thing, we're going to do 11/1. We're adding in $100. So it is at $560 now. Next is gifts. Last week gifts was at $30. We do have $30 in there, and gifts gets $10 a week. So this sinking fund will now be at $40. See, it's so nice when the sinking funds increase, and it is so depressing when I have to write a transaction to take out money in sinking funds. So gifts is at $40. Next we have household. Last week household was at $45. So we have 10, 20, 30, 35, 40, 45. Household gets 50. So we're going to add in 15. So we're now at 10, 20, 30, 40, 45, 50, 55, $60 for household. So we'll go ahead and get that put back in there. I just love this binder. I'm so happy that I was just using sinking funds like these without the hole punch, and then I would just keep them in a little Ziploc baggie and put them in my desk. But I just love the binder and having it all organized, and I don't know. Like I said, things with sinking funds just make me happy. So we're adding in 15, so household is at $60 for the week. Next is kids. Last week kids was at 100, so I was at 140, and then I did have to take out $40. That was for my son's basketball camp. Oh, and my daughter's babysitting clinic was 25. So then it dropped us down to 75. So we'll make sure we have 20 or 100 in here, so 20, 40, 60, 81. And then we're going to add in another 20. So we have $120 for the kids category of sinking funds. So 11/1, we're adding in 20, we're at 120. Now what I do when I get all the way to the end here and I have the whole sheet filled out is I will just take that ending balance, put it up here, and then, whoops, and then erase everything else with a wet wipe, and then just kind of go from there. Alright, next is medical. Last week medical had 15. So we have 5, 10, 15, and medical gets 15, or sorry, 5. So we'll add that in there. So medical will now be at 20. And medical I'll use for like co-pays, or cold and flu season is coming up, so we go through a lot of Tylenol, children's Tylenol and whatnot, so anything related to that. Personal care is the last sinking fund. So this is the one, my boys needed haircuts on Wednesday, and they were $15 a piece, so I had to take out $30 out of this one, which that was all I had in here. So this one is currently at 0, so we are going to add in $15, which will put personal care back at 15. And then I usually get their haircuts. One of my older son's hair grows way faster, and it kind of like fluffs out. Whereas my younger son, his hair, it still grows fast, but it kind of lays down as it grows, so he seems to not need a haircut as often because he can kind of get away with it longer, whereas my older son, gosh, he could get a haircut like every 3 or 4 weeks, but I'm not about going broke getting haircuts for him. So I do it about probably every 5 to 6 weeks. I really want to learn how to cut their hair on my own. It looks so easy, but I have tried it before and it was a complete fail. So I should watch some YouTube videos and learn how to do that, because that would save actually quite a bit of money. Okay, so we already filled rent. That's at $50, and then savings I'm not doing anything with. I just have it in here in case I do want to put something in savings. I already have my $1,000 emergency fund in a online savings account, so I just have this one in case I do decide to do something with savings. So debt snowball. Last week on the 25th I had $139 in here. So what that means is all throughout the month of October I ended up setting aside $139 that was just left over from my grocery, gas, and spending envelopes after every week, and I was able to put that towards an extra debt snowball payment, as well as the extra income I had from Etsy, YouTube, and Carousel, and then whatever also I had extra from my paycheck to paycheck. So that is what I do with this envelope. So if you guys remember, I set that $5 aside, so it was $2 from gas and $3 from spending. I realize that's not a lot to put in this one, but every dollar counts when you're paying off debt. So I'm going to set that in here, and I'm going to do that every single week with that extra money from those envelopes. That way at the end of the month I can see what I have in here, and then I will add that to that debt snowball. So we are at $5 for this week. Alright, so that is everything. I have everything in here stuffed, ready to go. So I will put this binder back into the secret place that I put it at. For safety, and then I take it out whenever I need to use something out of here or whenever I cash my envelopes. And then these three will go back into my wallet for the upcoming week. And that's all I have for you guys today. So thank you so much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're interested in any of the envelopes that you saw in here, check out my Etsy shop. The link's in the description below. I hope you guys have a good weekend and a good upcoming week. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!